Maybe we're all just growing up on YouTube, but I feel as though this type of video has been trending for some time, and I've been seeing it pop up all over the place. So today we are going to be talking about the things that I no longer buy. It's that mental shift from consumerism to minimalism, but it doesn't have to be as extreme as getting rid of every single thing in your home, just maybe being a little bit more mindful of what you bring in. So the first thing that I no longer shop for is sales. And I know that's a bit of a broad spectrum, but I remember going out on like Black Friday sales, being the first in line to go and find something, and people saying, "What are you looking for?" And me literally not knowing, just there for the thrill of the sale. Going out and just making all of these purchases because it was more of a game of like finding something that you liked within a sale versus going in and intentionally buying something that you had been wanting or that has been coveted for you for some time. Number two, this has been something for a while, and I had started slipping back into purchasing these things, and then I kind of shook my head and realized, wow, that is so not worth my money and not even worth my time to go get. And this is cards. So I know that there are some like beautiful cards out there, and we've all fallen into the papyrus card stack where it's just so beautiful and there's glitter and there's freaking googly eyes and like magnetic things and I don't even know, like robots on top of the cards. But some of these cards are $10 to $20. That's insane. I remember getting birthday cards from my grandma and it would have $25 in it. Imagine if that $20 that you're paying for that card just went into the child's fund for education. This would be way better use of your money. So what I did a couple years ago is I just made a bunch of cards. I literally just found desktop pictures that I loved. I put them on InDesign as half of an 8.5 by 11. The other half was white and it said like love on it upside down. And I just printed a bunch of cards for myself, and it has cost an insane fraction of what actually purchasing those cards would be. And now that I have the stack and that they're completely blank as well, that has been helpful. I can literally just pick it up no matter the occasion. The next thing is knickknacks. I also used to do this, and this is why I said at the beginning, I think we're all just growing up, because when I was younger, I would go into something like HomeSense and I would be really excited about decorating my room. Now, when you're a kid, I think this makes a lot of sense because your room is the only place that you kind of have autonomy over in your entire life. Possibly dressing up the shelves, moving things around. You've got to have things to move around to be able to move them around. So I would just go and buy a bunch of knickknacks. I remember I had like a black A, like home decor, all of these things, but that was simply just catching dust all the time. And it's kind of the difference, I was talking to Scotty off camera about this, it's kind of the difference between, you know, shopping with intention and then as well keeping things that have sentimental value. So of course we've got knickknacks, like behind me on the shelf, we have a couple of old cameras and some of them we use, some of them we don't use. And of course that could be considered like a knickknack, but they have sentimental value because they came from his grandfather and we have learned the history of them. So those are things that I no longer go and shop for 100%. When it comes to bathroom items, one of the things I am no longer buying, and it's funny because it's just so easy to pick up, and a lot of these videos said this as well, and I was like, preach, was lipstick and nail polish. I don't think I have ever finished a lipstick. Maybe one time, and then I just repurchased the same color. But bold lipsticks, like all of these things, I just never use. And matte lipsticks, I definitely don't purchase those anymore. Those just dry up your lips like crazy. Those just aren't things that are in my ethos anymore because I still have so many of those products that I inevitably, if I needed to get something, I could just try out that. And I'm always grabbing for the exact same things anyways. Nail polish as well. I used to literally have enough nail polish, I could have opened up my own salon. It's insane. And such a space taker. And also there are just some crazy colors out there where I don't know why I just felt the need to have this whole spectrum of nail polish when I just simply didn't need it. So I usually wear the exact same colors and now I just have those ones. And since decluttering that a few months ago, I actually have a link up above where I decluttered a bunch of makeup stuff. I have not missed it in the slightest, not at all. The next thing on the list is Something that I'm surprised is on my list because it's not something I ever expected to be on something like this, and that is plants. Now there is a reason for this, and the cool thing about plants is they grow, they regenerate, and they have babies. These are things that Scotty and I no longer need to spend money on because we have so many plants that they are actually making their own babies, where we can like make our own plants without having to go to a store. The only time I think we would ever maybe purchase a plant is if we bought a bigger space and we were looking for something to fill a corner. But it's not something where we're just constantly going to the plant store and bringing home a little baby plant, because we have constantly just been making our own little baby plants around our apartment. And it's been a true money saver, that one. Next up is mugs. I used to be a mug fanatic. You go to like a HomeSense and Indigo, you find those cute little mugs. They just warm your heart, warm your soul, because you're constantly reaching for a mug. But I have found beauty in the mundane, or maybe it's more of like finding beauty in the routine. I have 3 mugs that I circulate between. 3, and still that's more than one person needs. You really only need 1 mug, maybe 2 if one gets dirty, and I just circulate between them, and I always look for those mugs. There's literally no reason why I would need to have 5 million mugs. I used to be that person where anytime I traveled, oh yeah, this is it. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Anytime I would travel, I would go to a Starbucks, and you know those like where you are mugs or whatever it is, and it's the Starbucks mug with the name of the place, and then it kind of has like a little mural of that place. I would find those mugs everywhere and I would bring them home. And then I eventually just had all of these mugs, and it's cool for a period of time, but then you're just like, why? Why? You kind of have to shake your head every once in a while and realize what you're doing. Number 7 is shaving cream. I don't use shaving cream. I just use soap. It works just as good. I just don't know why you need all these products. So that's all I have to say about that. 8 is specialty outfits. I used to 100%, anytime there was an event, a wedding, something, a reception, anything, I would go out and purchase a dress or an outfit for it. And slowly I've been finding more solace in shopping my own wardrobe. And then as well, I have a bunch of great girlfriends where we will just borrow each other's dresses, take them on vacation, do all these things. Of course, they want to be your trusted friends so they don't come back like ruined with wine stains and holes and things like that. But it just makes a lot more sense. And oftentimes when it comes to a specialty outfit, you really only want to wear it that one time. Now, insider tip, that's actually not true. You can definitely wear a specialty outfit another time. But if it's like a holiday party or something like that, literally just have a friend borrow it. I've also, instead of buying an actual item, I've gone to places like Fitzroy Studio downtown Toronto where you can rent a dress and then return it. 1, it's good to keep your closet small. 2, it's good for the environment. 3, you can wear a super fancy dress, a really expensive one, and not actually have to purchase it, but just borrow it like Cinderella and return it the next day. And you can return it without even dry cleaning it. They take care of all that stuff for you. So no longer specialty occasion wear. One thing I don't think life would be complete without is travel. Sadly, we cannot travel right now due to COVID-19, but when I was traveling, I stopped buying souvenirs altogether. It's just not something that I found useful after buying them or bringing home little trinkets for family members and things like that. What I will buy is maybe a postcard or just simply take pictures. Pictures have become my true souvenir, and that's what contains a memory anyways. I don't necessarily need a little replica of the Eiffel Tower to remember that I went to France. You know? I also no longer buy trendy sunglasses. I don't know why I did this. I had so many pairs of sunglasses, a white pair, a black pair, a cat eye pair, like all these crazy sunglasses, but I literally only wear my Ray-Bans, and the reason why I wear them is because they are polarized. They're better for my eye. I have blue eyes. I'm like the squintiest human when I'm outside in the sun. So if I'm not wearing the proper sunglasses, I'll probably get in a car accident. So don't buy trendy sunglasses. Save yourself on the roads, kids. I no longer buy fancy bras. When you are a teen and you're growing up, you're so interested in like blossoming into a woman and all of these things, and you're buying like these fancy bras and everything. But I never wear them because one, they're usually lumpy under your shirt. It looks weird. And two, there's like a select few outfits that you can actually wear something like that under. Literally, just the most basic bra is good to go. One thing I also no longer buy is photo editing apps. Now, taking it to the tech side of things, that's just something I don't need anymore. I've figured out how I edit my photos. I edit them all in Lightroom. I just simply don't need other apps to satisfy that area of my content journey. So on that edge of things, I also no longer buy LUT packages. So these are kind of in the same stream where someone has created some filters and you can purchase them, whether that be for photos or videos. It's just not something I need anymore. I can do it myself. Costume jewelry is something that I just do not spend money on anymore. I remember there was this phase, and I think I'm gonna put up some Pinterest photos like circa 2015. There was this phase where we all just had those big chunky necklaces and we were just wearing these huge pieces of costume jewelry, big rings and things like that, maybe bangles. It's just not something that I feel comfortable wearing anymore. Costume jewelry usually makes me break out because I have sensitive skin. It'll turn your fingers green, all that fun stuff. It's just not something I need. I love having a streamlined approach when it comes to my accessory wear, and that's usually simplistic jewelry, and I just have my go-tos that I wear all the time, and that's truly all I need. I also no longer buy high-heeled shoes. Now, booties excluded, I wear those a lot more, and if I buy a pair of boots, often they will have a little bit of a heel on them, but I no longer buy those really high-heeled shoes. One, they're so hard to walk in. Two, it's very rare that you're going to get to wear them. And three, they're freaking uncomfortable. I have gotten to the point now where this is another point of maybe we're just growing up, that I just don't need to have uncomfortable feet when I'm out and about. In fact, I remember one time that I was in university and me and my girlfriends went out downtown Toronto and we got really dressed up, but I ended up wearing these little tiny sneakers because we were dancing all night. I had the best night of my life, and never have I ever been complimented by so many guys on my footwear because it was actually like humanly possible to walk in and dance in, and I didn't walk home wanting to cry with band-aids all over my feet and blood seeping into my shoes. I used to buy into the area of like FabFitFun boxes, those kind of things, those subscription boxes where you get to try a bunch of stuff. I no longer buy that. I've seen the forest for the trees. I get it. You guys want us to try a bunch of products so that we will buy in, really like it, and return the favor by continuously purchasing those products. Now, oftentimes I would find 80% of those I wouldn't want to use, and the other percent, it just kind of was maybe along the lines of what I wanted, but wasn't just right. There were definitely things in there that I liked, but I ended up just putting them in my utility closet and not actually using them, thus acquiring more items. This flows nicely into the next thing that I don't buy, and that is multiples. Unless it is something that I use every single day and it is on a crazy sale, like a shampoo that you constantly use and it is just insanely on sale and for sure won't expire, then yeah, maybe I will buy a multiple. But before, I used to want to build, when I was living on my own, I wanted to build essentially a little corner store for myself. I had a utility closet where I have lined up like candles that I loved and like body washes and all of these things. And there was just literally no need for it. One, I was spending that money that I just really didn't need to be outputting at the time for no reason, because if I had simply just bought the one purchase of it, my needs would have been satisfied. And two, it was just a space taker. I simply just didn't need to have that in my life. Maybe if you're like a family, the fact that I'm a single woman living with my partner, Scott, I just don't need to have all that stuff because at any time we can just run out and get it. The very last thing that I do not buy into anymore is random people on the internet thinking that they know me better than I know myself. And that is it. Those are the things that I have not been buying and just simply don't indulge in anymore. And to be honest, I haven't noticed my lifestyle change all that drastically, other than having more space and maybe more dollars in my wallet. There are a few things I would love to say that I don't buy anymore, like takeaway coffee and maybe takeaway food and absorbent amounts of tea. But you know what? That's okay, because I still really enjoy all of those things. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you notice that you don't buy anymore. I would love to see them and maybe track down this video in a year from now and see if things have changed. We'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this one a big thumbs up. That would make me so happy. Bye.
Just the two of us, but I know I have to try to let